In the quaint town of Ashford, where everyone knew each other by name, Emily had always felt safe. That all changed one fateful night when her sleep was shattered by a nightmare unlike any she had ever experienced. It began innocently enough, with her walking through a familiar forest, but soon the trees closed in, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching out to grab her. She tried to run, but her feet felt like they were sinking into the ground. Suddenly, the forest was gone, and she found herself standing in an old, decaying mansion. The walls were adorned with grotesque paintings, their eyes following her every move. A sense of dread washed over her as she heard a low growl emanating from the darkness. She turned to see a figure, shrouded in shadows, with glowing red eyes staring directly at her. "You cannot escape," it hissed, its voice a chorus of whispers. Emily woke up screaming, drenched in sweat. Her heart pounded in her chest as she tried to convince herself it was just a dream. But deep down, she knew it was something more. The nightmares continued every night, each one more terrifying than the last. She saw visions of demonic creatures, heard their menacing laughter, and felt their cold touch on her skin. Desperate for help, Emily turned to the internet, seeking answers in forums dedicated to the paranormal. It was there that she stumbled upon a name that kept appearing: Dr. Evelyn Carter, a renowned expert on demonology. Determined to put an end to her torment, Emily reached out to Dr. Carter, who agreed to meet her. Dr. Carter's office was filled with ancient books, strange artifacts, and an air of mystery. She listened intently as Emily recounted her nightmares, her eyes filled with concern. "You are dealing with a particularly malevolent entity, Doctor," Carter said. "These demons feed on fear and despair. They enter our dreams to weaken us, to break our spirit." "What can I do?" Emily asked, her voice trembling. "There are ways to protect yourself, Doctor," Carter replied. "We must perform a ritual to banish the demon from your life. But be warned, this will not be easy. Demons do not give up their prey willingly." In that night, under Dr. Carter's guidance, Emily prepared for the ritual. She gathered the necessary items: candles, herbs, and a talisman blessed by a priest. As the clock struck midnight, they began. The air grew thick with tension as they chanted ancient incantations, the flames of the candles flickering in the darkness. Emily felt a presence in the room, a cold, malevolent force that seemed to mock their efforts. The shadows in the corners grew darker, and the temperature dropped. Suddenly, the candles were extinguished, plunging the room into darkness. A guttural laugh echoed around them, sending chills down Emily's spine. "You think you can banish me?" the demon's voice taunted. "I am part of you now." Dr. Carter's voice remained steady as she continued the incantations, her resolve unshaken. Emily clutched the talisman, focusing on the warmth it emitted. She could feel the demon's grip on her weakening, its presence growing fainter. With one final, powerful chant, Dr. Carter commanded the demon to leave. There was a deafening roar, and then silence. The air felt lighter, the oppressive weight lifted. Emily collapsed to the floor, tears streaming down her face. "Is it over?" she whispered. Dr. Carter knelt beside her, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "For now, yes, but you must remain vigilant. Demons are cunning, and they do not easily let go." In the following weeks, Emily's nightmares ceased, and she began to feel like herself again. She kept the talisman close, a reminder of the battle she had fought and won. But the memory of the demon's red eyes haunted her, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the veil of sleep. One night, as she was drifting off to sleep, she heard a faint whisper. Her heart raced as she recognized the voice. "I will return, Emily. You cannot escape me forever." Her eyes snapped open, and she reached for the talisman. It glowed faintly, a beacon of hope in the darkness. She knew the battle was far from over, but she was ready. She had faced the demons once, and she would do it again. For in the quiet town of Ashford, where everyone knew each other by name, Emily had discovered a truth that many feared to acknowledge: that sometimes the real monsters are the ones that lurk within our own minds, waiting for the moment when our defenses are down, to strike. And so she remained vigilant, knowing that the nightmares were not just a figment of her imagination, but a gateway to a world where demons thrived on fear and despair. She had seen their faces, heard their voices, and felt their touch. And she would never forget. As she drifted off to sleep, the talisman clutched tightly in her hand. She whispered a silent prayer, for she knew that in the realm of nightmares, the battle between light and darkness was never truly over.